but everyone has a different story to tell. Shell, which says it's losing the
Tampa market. Staggering rise.
In Northeast Africa, precisely on the Horn of Africa.
the local farmers.
All right. Good morning, folks. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Once again, thank you for coming on. This is the Revolutionary Repatriation Educational Lecture Series every Friday. So I just want to welcome you this morning as we are here to discuss as we usually do. So today's topic, it says AFRICOM, not AFRICOM, but CARICOM. CARICOM Nation don't give up on Haiti to Canada. The Ancestral Prophecies and more. Now, the CARICOM Nations are the Caribbean nation, all right? So it's just an acronym for the Caribbean nation, coming together, all right? So that is an organization that sorry folks, let me see. No, that is an organization that is there to band the Caribbean nation together in South America. All right. So they have come out with a decision to talk about the problem in Haiti. But our decision, it is a wrong way. Yeah, it is not a right decision. All right. So that is what we're about to talk about today. So we're going to talk about that, and then we're also going to talk about prophecy from our forefather. Okay. And then what else? There's another thing I think we got to talk about. Yeah, I think that should be the last one. Yeah. So okay, the next one we're going to talk about before the prophecy, we're going to talk about the United States. Sorry, yeah, the United States bullying Africa. Yeah, we're going to talk about the United States, the continual bullying from the United States to the African continent or to the African nation through aid. All right. So the United States continue to bully Africa or African nation because of aid. All right. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. Sorry, I almost left that out. So we're going to talk about that. But before then, let's get to Haiti and then see, what is going on in Haiti. All right. So the Caribbean nations are about to make another mistake in regards to Haiti. They are about to give Haiti to Canada or to the United States, because Canada and the United States, they have tried so hard, all right, to take Haiti, for Haiti to be their personal property, all right? But because there have been outcry from the people in Haiti, and also there have been outcry from African people or Black people outside of Haiti, for the United States and Canada, or for the imperialists not to interfere into the affair of Haiti, right? And there will be an outcry that the United States have sent UN there before, but nothing was done. The United States have sent the United States Army there before, and nothing was done. Canada have sent Canadian Army there before, nothing again was done. All right. And it was the same United States that went there along with Canada. They took out a democratic elected president. Okay. They took him out. They carried coup d'etat and they took him out. All right. And after that, they planted their own government. And that government did not yield to the need of the people, but rather to the need of the imperialists. And today, they have led Haiti to the situation Haiti is in today. So let's see the mistake the Caribbean nations are about to do or they have done. So let's get into it. All right, so this is an article. All right, we're going to look at it very critically and analyze and discuss it. So it's a CARICOM delegation here to Haiti. So the problem about African people, right? The problem about Black people, right? I don't want to hear that we don't have money. Black people do have money. We have money, all right? But we are so stingy, okay? We are so mean when it comes to our needs. We are so mean when it comes to our needs, all right? But we are free-handed when it comes to other people, okay? When it comes to other people's need, Black people donate. Black people sending money, $1 million. They send it when it comes to other people's needs. They send millions of dollars. But when it comes to our needs, when it comes to Black people solution, when it comes to Black people or African people problem, we act like we don't have money. We act like we don't have millionaire. We act like we don't have billionaire in our midst. But when it comes to the solution of other people, that's the time you hear about Jay-Z get billionaire or Rihanna and that millionaire or get that she's billionaire. I mean, all of these Black celebrity, all right? Once it comes to African people needs, the media, what they do is they hide those billionaires. But when it comes to other people's needs, that's the time the media come out to start naming Black people who are billionaires, who are millionaires. And the reason why they do that is because they are actually pointing them out to go and give their money to where they're not supposed to put their money. But when it comes to our needs, they never call out those billionaire names because they do not want for those billionaires or millionaires to put their money to where their money is supposed to go. Let's continue here. So it said, a CARICOM delegation, nations within the Caribbean, all right? Delegation consisting of representatives from the Bahamas and other countries in the region left for Haiti yesterday to meet with politicians and other officials there to discuss security issues facing the crisis-torn nation. Now, which sounds very good. And, you know, it sounds nice to see African nations, to see Black nations coming together to recognize with African problem or Black problem. All right? It sounds very good. But the disturbing part is, we're going to get to that. All right? They have all these brilliant ideas, but they cannot use their own money into these brilliant ideas. Let's continue. He said the National Security Minister, Wayne Maroon, and Immigration Minister Keith Bell were reportedly among the delegation that left the Bahamas yesterday for Haiti. Now, it said at the end of the 3 days high-level talks, member states of CARICOM agreed to provide direct support to the Haitian National Police to help bolster security in a troubled country. Now, this is what I have problem with. So, the meeting is about empowering the police. What will the police do to fight gang? What will the police do to bring stability to the country? What will the police do to bring about election in order to have the Haitian people to elect their president, what would the police do? What will the police do to stop the increasing gang in the country? What will the police do to stop the illegal proliferation of ammunition, illegal weapon in the country? What will the police do? What will the police do to stop the proxy war in the country? What will the police do? That is just my caution. These are caution to these delegates. What will the police do? Are you going to empower? What needs to be done here is to empower the military, not the police. Not the police. Who gave the idea? Who gave the solution? What kind of solution is that? Who gave the solution to these delegates? So you left the national army, the national security, or the army, you left them out, and you say you want to empower the police. Will the police go and fight the gang who has sophisticated weapons? These folks are not ready, but that is not even the main point. We're going to get to the main point, but that is not even the main point that I want to discuss here. Now, so let's continue here. The Prime Minister of CARICOM, Chairman Philip David, spoke to a reporter yesterday about the purpose of the mission. This is what I want to get, all right? The purpose of the mission, which he said will prepare them for an upcoming meeting that will be held in Jamaica concerning issues in Haiti. He said, Canadian official, this is my problem. This is why I have problem with those delegates. He said Canadian official will also, Canadian official also will be accompanying the group. Adding that together, they will be developing a plan as to how they can support the Haitian National Police again. Decision that is being made that is not coming from African people, from Black people. This is a solution given to them from the imperialists. You know very well the National Police will not fight the gang. You know very well the National Police do not have sophisticated weapons. They are not trained to go on battlefront. You know very well the police are not trained to go on battlefront. The police are trained to maintain law and order in the states with the citizen, not to go on war front. Can the Canadian police go on war front? Can the American police go on war front? Black people, what is wrong with us? You left the national army. You're not talking about training or empowering the national army, but you are talking about empowering the police. Now, here is the thing. Do you know what they are empowering the police for? They are empowering the police for the police to go against their own citizens. Because this is what's going to happen. They are going to gala top-ranking police officer in Haiti. They are going to bring them, brainwash them, And then these top-ranking police officers will then go and carry down order to the laymen in the police force. And then these police force now, or these laymen, will now go on the street to harass the citizens, because they are going to give them sophisticated material to harass their own citizens who are saying we are fed up, who are saying we need election, who are saying we need to speak to elect our own president. These police officers will now go to humiliate the citizens who will get on the street to demonstrate for peace, to demonstrate for America or Canada not to interfere into the Haitian province. How are you going to leave the army and then go and train the police and then go and give equipment to the police? Have the Canadian ever sent the police on war front to go and fight? Typical example, the issue happening in Ukraine. Was the Ukrainian police officer that went to go fight, or the army? Police officers are not fighting. It is an army. If police officers want to fight, then they have to leave the police to go join the army and then give them the army training. Give them the army training on how to go fight. What is police doing on war front? This is what happened to Black people. If we don't take our own matter into our hand and find solution, we allow the outsider, the imperialist, the enemy, the invader to come and give us solution. Those solutions that they gave are not solution. But here is the reason why they are dependent on Canada. Let's continue here. The reason why they're dependent on Canada. Complete nonsense. The purposes of meeting with stakeholder, okay? The purposes of meeting or stakeholder in Haiti, and the main purpose of that mission is to ensure that we have stakeholder prepared for another meeting that is to be held in Jamaica next week, and to advise them of that meeting. And at the same time, to talk to them about security of Haiti and how best to secure Haiti so that we can create the space to allow for freedom of movement without fear or intimidation or violence. Let's explain this. Let's make this clear right here. Because great warning, right? I mean, it sounds very nice. But the freedom they're talking about here is for who? We're talking about war in an area, and we're talking about peace, and you're talking about bringing stakeholder. Now you understand why they want to train the national police? They want to train the national police because these stakeholders will be in that area exploiting the people's mineral resources. You're talking about war in an area. Who's going to develop the area? I mean, you're talking about stakeholder. Who going to carry their business? Who will carry their business or businesses in Haiti when there's war? So these stakeholders are people who are there to exploit the mineral resources, like Canada, like the USA. These are the stakeholders. Because under no circumstances, a businessman, a typical entrepreneur, will take their business to Haiti when there is war, when there is conflict, when there is gang violence. Why would they want to go put their business there, and if they know that they will be robbed? So these stakeholders, the reason why they are there to train the police, for the police to protect these stakeholders while they are there stealing the resources, so that the citizens can come out to protest, They will be beating their own citizens. They will be brutalizing their own citizens, because there is nothing they mention here about gang related, about training the military to go and fight the gang, to take the gang from there, and then talk about bringing peace, or even talk about election. Nothing. All they said here was train the national police, and then so that they can carry the stakeholders, because these stakeholders are the people who put in their money in, the US and Canada. Those are the two stakeholders. Mr. Davis, who spoke to reporters on the sideline of an event in Abaco, added, now, and in that regard, the principal role will be to empower and resource the Haitian National Police. So you see right here, the police is not going to fight again. The police are there. What they are doing here, they're going to empower the police to start beating on their own citizens. Because they have seen that what they want to be done in Haiti, what the United States want, what the Canadian government want, is not happening, because the people are standing out. The people are speaking to the war, and the wars to some area, the war is speaking to and say America should back off. So in order to stop the people, in order to stop the Haitian, they have to train the police, and then the police will go against their own people. Because we will be so dumb and stupid to listen to the colonizer, the imperialists. What kind of solution is this? Under no circumstances at this time, black people should be getting solution from the people who caused their problem. No circumstances we should be getting solution about African problem from the United States, about African problem from Canada, about African problem from UK or from Europe. It should never happen, because their solution is never a solution for our problem, but rather a solution for them problem. Since the 1600s, what solution have the United States put forth on the table for black people to resolve their problem, to become self-determined people? What solution have the European put forth on the table for African people or for black people to be self-determined and to take responsibility of their problem? Hold on, folks. Let me call you back online. Yeah. Let me call you back online in the morning. Sorry, folks. So what solution have they given to us? They have given us no solutions. But things that they bring to us is not solution. Anytime you see these European or these colonizer talking about solution to Africa or to black people, it is not solution. It is never solution. The solution to our problem is to do something that they don't like. But anytime we do something that they like, it is not solution to us. It is never going to harm them. Let's continue here. And in that regard, the principal role will be, so that's the principal role. That's the main role, to train the national police to go against the citizens, to stop the citizens from voicing out, to stop the citizen from coming out to say we don't want America, we don't want Canada, to stop the citizen from telling the world about what America have done in the past and there was no solution, to stop the citizen from coming out to tell the world about what Canada have done in the past and there was no solution, to stop the citizen from coming out to tell the world about America went in and took down their democratic elected government. And up to now, America have carried no solution to stop the citizens from coming out from to voicing or to say is that we don't want UN, because UN was here for X amount of years and nothing was done up to now. They don't want for the citizens to come out and say America and Canada put in puppet government, that this government is not protecting them, but rather protecting the selfish interests of America and Canada. They don't want for the citizens to come and say their problem have been caused by America and Canada, by Europe. They don't want for the citizens to come out and say America, Canada, and UK or Europe, they are responsible. They are carrying on the continual colonization. They are carrying on the continual colonial policy in Haiti. They don't want for the citizens to come out and say that. So if they go in, they themselves, the citizens are going to react. So they're going now to brainwash the same Haitian police, and then the police will then go against their own people, start treating their people. And then they will not sit at the back and say, okay, now let's see what organization like WCC going to say. Now it is the Haitian National Police that is treating the people in Haiti, that is beating the people in Haiti, that is torturing the people in Haiti. What is WCC going to say? But before we say that, we're going to expose the meeting. We're going to expose what you guys are planning before we come to that. So that when we're saying it, our people will have understand at that time, or we have, finished getting the message by that time. And we will not get to that point to say the Haitian National Police are treating the people, because that is the plot right here now. Let's continue here. The Canadian government, the mission there alone with the Canada is a Canada CARICOM mission that are put together during the course of CARICOM meeting. That's the chairman for the CARICOM, okay, for the Caribbean nation together. He's the one speaking, all right? Now, but look what they are depending, the reason why they are depending on Canada. So Canada is the one spearheading the whole thing, right? Listen here. The Canadian government is providing the security. So you see right here, who is providing the security? It is not even the Caribbean nation. The Canadian government is providing the security for all of our persons that have gone down there. They are leading it and will be crafting a measure. So that's the Canadian government. That's the Canadian authority spearheading the whole thing. Security, okay? And everything that they will be crafting, everything that they will be saying down there for the solution, it will all coming from the Canadian Prime Minister or the Canadian authority or the Canadian delegate that will be there with these so-called Africans. So they just want to say it. They're not going to bring any solution, but whatsoever the Canadian delegate says or bring out or tell them, that is what these so-called Negro are going to sit and agree by it. And then go back to their so-called Caribbean nations. They are leading it and will be crafting a measure whereby we, the Caribbean nation. So you see it, right? After the Canadian authority craft the solution, write the solution, then we, the so-called Caribbean nation, we could empower the Haitian National Police. So after the solution have come from the Caribbean delegate or authority, then give it to them, the so-called Caribbean delegate. Now they will go now to Haiti, okay, and carry the message to the Haitian National Police, to the Haitian government, Because first of all, the government there is a puppet to the United States and Canada. So why are they not empowering the national army? Is it because there's a fear that if they empower the national army may overthrow the president or the prime minister in Haiti? Is that a reason why they are not training, or they don't want to empower the national army? Look, folks, these imperialists are not there to empower any black nations. Because if they empower you, the fear is that they may come after them. So they are not there to empower any black nations. No way. It's never in their DNA. That's their fear. If we empower these niggas are going to come after us. How can we empower these people, when we want their resources? We want them to remain powerless. So we cannot go in to empower them. So if they are coming to empower certain sector of their security, and that security that they are going to empower, that security is not a force meant for battlefield. That security is a force meant to intimidate citizens. Is that solutions? You are not empowering the national army to go and fight again, but you are empowering the police to go harass ordinary citizens from speaking out, from exposing America and Canada behavior in Haiti. That is why you are going to empower the security force. Let's continue here. Let's continue here. So let me read that paragraph again. The Canadian government is providing the security of all of our persons that have gone down there. They are leading it and will be crafting a measure whereby we could empower the Haitian National Police to ensure that they are able to compete with the gang. Are you kidding me? So listen, folks, who going to compete with the gang? The police or the army? Who stand a better chance to compete with the gang? The police or the army? The police or the army, who have a better chance to compete with the gang? Who have a better chance on the battlefield? The United States Army or the police, or the United States Police? Who have a better chance to compete on the battlefield? The Canadian Army or the Canadian Police? For typical example, that make this scenario, right? This example. Who have a better chance to fight Russia or to fight Putin in a battle? The United States Army or the United States Police? Who have a better chance to fight in Ukraine? The Canadian Army or the Canadian Police? Let us be serious here, folks. Those gangs are trained. And those gangs have sophisticated mauling weapons. Let's see right here. Let's continue here. Let's see right here. Okay? Let's connect the dot here again. But they are leading it and will be crafting a measure whereby we could empower the Haitian National Police to ensure that they are able to compete with the gang, who seem to be better resource, better organized than the police at the moment. For typical example, let make this clear here. In America here, when they're really talking about gang, the police don't go there. They call for special forces. For typical example, when there is protest in America here, what do? They call for special guard. They call for special forces. They call for the how they call it? All these navies and all these army. And you see army all around. Why they can't call for the police? Just protest in America here. Just protest. Citizens protesting. They don't call for the police. They call for the national army. They call for the national guard. Just protest in America. They call for the national guard. Just protest. Ordinary citizens, they don't even have gun. They don't have ammunition. Just ordinary citizens, angry, fighting, or on a street marching, right? And stoning building or going in store and taking stuff. They have to call for the National Guard of the United States. The deployed National Guard of the United States. The deployed National Guard. Citizens don't have ammunition, but the deployed National Guard. And you're talking about people that have arms, people that have sophisticated weapons. And you're talking about police. You're not talking about the army. Ordinary citizens protesting in America. They call it National Guard. And you're talking about gang. You're talking about people that have ammunition in Haiti. Now you're talking about police. Why are you not training the National Army? Why are you not empowering the National Army? Why are you not deploying the National Army? For this purpose, if you truly want peace in Haiti. But folks, I don't blame these people because we look up to them for solution. They will never give a solution when it comes to African people problem. Why would they want to give a solution when they want to have, they want to keep being Haiti to exploit the people's natural resources or lithium? Why would they want to give a solution? Why would they want to empower you? They love the fact that there is violence in the country, like creating proxy war. They love it. Let's continue here. When asked if the Bahamas was prepared to send security forces to Haiti, Prime Minister Davis repeated that putting boots on the ground was not an option. Now, these are statements that was made to them. These are statements came from the Canadian or the U.S. delegation, whatsoever, given to them. So they are just repeating what their colonial master told them. He repeated that. Putting boots on the ground was not an option at the moment, but stressed that we are prepared to do our part to ensure that we achieve the ultimate goal, which is Haiti stabilization. I even want to believe that this CARICOM delegate were not the one that brought this idea. This idea was brought forth by the imperialists because they have trust in all means to carry their army, okay, or to go settle in Haiti. They have tried by all means, even with through UN, but that was blocked. So they have come up with another solution. Okay, you know what? We can put some puppets together and they can go in for us. These people never sleep. They always come up with a solution. There's one area here I actually want to talk about, but I don't know if I can find it. Because they even mention in the article here that everything that is going on as well, it is the Canadian government that is financing it. The Canadian government is financing it. It's somewhere in here, but I don't want to take much time because I can't find it. But it's in here. As I read it, I went through the article before even bringing it out here. Okay? So it is the Canadian government that is financing this whole issue here. It is the Canadian government that is financing, okay, the police. It is the Canadian government financing the police. It is not even those Caribbean nations that are putting their money in there. No. They are the one financing the police. They are the one financing this whole, how they call it, meetings, even up to Jamaica and coming out with solution. They are the one. The Canadian government, the Canadian delegate, they are the one financing it. What is wrong with we African financing our own affair? So where are the African billionaires? Where are the African millionaires? Where are the black millionaires? We only hear about black millionaire or billionaire when other things are happening to other race. When they're happening to non-black, then that's the time the media can come and say how this black man is rich, is billionaire, is millionaire. Because they are pointing them out so that they can go spend their money to issue that is not of black people. And you can see these black people donating their millionaire. Oh, this person just donated $1 million. But when it comes to black people, we don't have $1 million black person. We don't have $1 billion black person. We don't. That's the time the media will never bring them out to mention them. So to this Caribbean nation, before it comes to the point of we pointing fingers to the Haitian National Police of how they are ill-treating their citizens, before it comes to that point, we will expose you. And when it comes to that point, you will be the one the blame will go on. Because you are the one sponsoring the idea. You are the one sponsoring the behavior. You are the one sponsoring the ill solution to the Haitian people. If you don't want to help the people in our region, leave them, back off, leave them alone. And to those so-called Caribbean delegates, back off. Because that is not a solution. If you don't want to help the Haitian people, then go and sit down. But stop acting that you are having meeting to help the people. You are not helping the people, but rather to go create more problem while you serve your master. We are not serving no master. We are our own master. We don't have master. If we can't be our own master, then we don't have master. Let's continue to the next page. But again, even before I continue to the next page, to the next discussion, let's talk about this first. Some of the blame of what we are discussing here, it lies on the African continent. Some of the blame. And this blame particularly lies on the African continent. It lies with the African leaders on the African continent. This blame also go on to them. Because if they were uniting, if they were coming together to become forceful, to be well empowered and equipped, They will be the one to tell Canada to back off Haiti. They will be the one putting a military aircraft or plane in the air to go to Haiti to carry supply to Haiti. They will be the one sending military to Haiti because what Haiti have done to black people. What Haiti gave the direction for freedom in the war to black people. Africa should be the one today telling America, look, back off Haiti. If not, we will not give you aid. We will not give you some of our resources. Africa should be the one telling Canada, back off. Leave Haiti alone. Africa should be the one right now in Haiti solving the problem of Haiti, making sure election should be held, making sure the people elect their president, and telling America to back off. Africa should be the one right now as a continent standing out for all black nations around the world. But you know why they can't do it? Because they themselves, they are puppets to America and Canada. How can a small nation like Canada have power over a continent like Africa? How can a small nation like the United States have power over a continent like Africa? How can a small nation like UK have power over a continent like Africa? Because we allow it. Because we don't want to come together. Because we have not yet realized that our unity means our freedom, and to the freedom of all black nations around the world. We have not yet realized it. We have not yet realized that if I'm in any black nation, if I'm in Haiti as a black man, I won't be looked down as I can be looked down in America, as I can be looked down in Europe, as I can be looked down in Australia, as I can be looked down in China. I will go to Haiti, they will take me as a Haitian. I can go to Trinidad and Tobago, they will take me like one of them. I can go to Jamaica, they will take me like one of them. But we have not yet realized it. This thing should stop. Africa, this thing should stop. You have the power in your hand. You have the power in your hand. The war is shaking right now. And the war is shaking everybody depending on Africa. This America depending on Africa as we speak today. They say the entire Europe depend on Africa as we speak right now. China depend on Africa as we speak right now. Australia, all 6 continents depend on the African continent. I know we have 7, but I'll take Africa out. The rest of the 6 continents, they depend on Africa for survival as we speak. So what is wrong with us, Africans, from getting it? All the 6 continents, they know it. They got it. That without Africa, in this 2023, they are all done for doom. They're done. But only us, Africans, what is wrong with us? Europe know that without Africa, they can't survive in the next 5 years. They can. And they themselves know it. That is what they are saying by 2050. In fact, by 20 or 30, let's say 40 to 50, half of the world will be Africans. From Europe to Africa will be African. From America to Africa will be African. From China to Africa will be African. From Australia to Africa will be African. You know why? Because people migrating there now. So they're not just saying by that time half of the world will be African. No. They are not just saying that. The reason why they are saying that is they are saying that the rest of the continent are failing. So everybody will be migrating to Africa to seek for greener pasture. Everybody will be migrating to Africa. And as we speak right now, Americans, white America, they are in Africa right now looking for places to settle. Only Black Americans still settling down yet. Black Americans still settling down. As we speak right now, in Europe, Europeans are traveling to Africa. They are finding places right now where they can be, where they can live comfortable. Only Black people in Europe still settling down. In Australia are in Africa right now. Some of them have taken 4 or 5 trips. And each of those trips, they are looking for a place they feel they can be connected, where people will look to them as heaven. So they are not traveling to the African continent just for tourist activities or tourism. No. They are going there looking to see where they can settle. That is what's happening right now. The Chinese as well are doing the same thing. They are not just there for contracts. They are also there finding place that they can settle. Only African people in the diaspora don't realize it yet. By the time we realize it, by the time you get to your senses, they already finished taking it. And by the time you get there, they will be telling you, you're not Africans. They will be telling you, you are not Africans. That is what's going on right now. All of them are migrating to the African continent. Secreted, but they're not telling you. Go to Liberia right now. Go to Liberia and see. But we sitting here, we don't want to go. You don't want to travel. You don't want to go see. But go to Liberia right now and see the number of white folks. Every day I'm just checking them out. I'm just checking them. I'm checking them in those villages. I'm just checking in those villages. And you see them there. I just laugh like, wow. They are there enjoying nature. That's why they go here first. They are there enjoying the nature. And before you make up your mind, they already got land there. They got horses there. And as we speak, some of them already living there right now in those bushes. They have their horses there. They see Africa, they say we live in trees. They are now there living in trees. They are living there in trees right now. With their lions, with their giraffe, with the zebra, with the chimpanzee, with the gorilla. They all are eating from fruits. Oh yes. They say we live in trees. So they are there living in trees right now. Jumping from tree to tree with the monkeys. Sit down here, you black Negro, and listen to what you see on the internet. Listen to what they put out there for you to see. Go on the land and go find a place. Tomorrow they're going to tell you you are not African. And it will be so shameful for a caveman to look at you and say you are not African. It is sad, but in reality. Let's continue here to the next page. Now, the next thing we want to talk about here is America bullying the African continent, the African nation. All right. So what you see here first, this right here. It says no to Sodom or no to Sodom or Sodoma. And then the next thing you see here, it said thank you Museveni, no change. The next thing you see here is say Kaguta and Parliament. So, as we all know, America is a country or a nation that like to bully other nations, particularly the African continent, the African nation. They love to bully people. Over the years, they have been advocating for gay in Africa. They use Obama, President Obama, former president of the United States, they use him. But the question here is, Obama have a wife and children. He have family. Obama does not have men that he's dating. Joe Biden have a wife and family. He's not dating a man. He did not impregnate a man. He did not have a family with a man. Obama did not have a family with a man. None of them have a family with another man. None of them have a family with another man by dating another man, by having sexual intercourse with another man. None of them. They have family by dating a woman, the opposite sex. They have home by dating the opposite sex. So how dare you go on an African continent or African nations? The citizens are saying they don't want it. You say you believe in democracy, but you don't believe in democracy. The citizens say they don't want it, but you try to force it on the people. America, just because you practice something does not make it holistic. Just because you do something does not make it good. Just because you have certain behavior does not mean that other nations should practice that same behavior. Your practice is toxic to other nations and to other culture. And what other culture do is not good for your culture. In Africa, we practice polygamy. Do you practice polygamy in America? All right. Then now, say you want to say we should practice gay in Africa. Why can't you practice polygamy in America? Why can't you put it into law to practice polygamy? You never want to hear it in America about polygamy because you feel that it is not part of your culture. You feel that it is not part of America. But who gave you the guts to go in Africa to tell people to practice gay for another man to go lay down with another man? Why can't you put it in your law to practice polygamy in America here? Let's continue here. But you know why they do these things? Because they feel they give money to African nation. But the same money they get to African nation, it is African people money because they loot our resources. But I don't blame them. I blame African leaders again as well. Because they have not yet realized that these nations depend on Africa, African people resources. The White House sharply criticized Uganda President Yoweri Museveni on Monday for signing legislation that imposes harsh penalties for homosexuality. Look at, how does it even sound in your ear? Homosexuality. How does it sound in these people's ear? It sounds disgusting, dirty. It sounds dirty. It sounds dirty. Even hearing it, like I want to go take shower because it's like dirt on me. Just because you practice something in your culture or in your nation does not mean other nations should practice it. Respect other people's culture. If people want to be gay, they can come to America and be gay. That's fine. If people want to practice homosexuality, they can come to America. Get them visa. Let them come to America. They can, I mean, in fact, that could be fine. They can do tour, right? And come to America and have the experience. But what you see in your country as human right is not human right in other people's culture. Respect that, Mr. Man. What you have in your country as human right, in other people's society, it is not human right. Especially when the people say they don't want it. They don't want that kind of change in Africa. We don't want it. We don't want that kind of change in Africa. We have a lot of complex issues. And our minds are focused on those complex issues. Our minds are not focused on homosexuality for another man to go lay down with another man. That is perfect in America, but it is not perfect in Africa. Respect our culture. America, you are the one going backward. We are not going backward. We are going forward. You are the one going backward. That should even sink to you. For another man to go lay down with another man. And then you put on your dollar bill in God we trust. But you don't do what God say. Let's continue here. The new law strengthened existing punishment for anyone caught having gay sex, imposing jail term of up to life for aggravated homosexuality, including sex with a minor or while HIV positive. And yes, we agree to that. That is why in your country, people are having sex with minor. We don't want it in Africa. We don't want it. We have a lot of issues to think about. This is not even the least in Africa to think about. It's not even the least. Because it is not even on our table to discuss. Have African people ever come to you and tell you, say you should practice polygamy in Africa? Have they? Have we come to you and tell you, say United States, you must practice polygamy? If not, we will not give you some of our resources. If not, you will not be partner to us. Have they? Because it is none of African people's business. You want to practice polygamy, that's your business. You don't want to practice it, that's your business. But in Africa, it's common. We practice polygamy. Have we ever come to you to impose our culture on you? Don't impose your homosexuality on African people. We don't need it. Respect our culture. As we respect you, as we respect your value, respect our values. America. Now they say here, instead of standing on the side of freedom, that is not freedom. Because you see right here, you see what the people say? America, the people do not need it. And that's what they are saying here. And they even told their parliament, thank you. As you can see here in their local language. They're telling their parliament, thank you. So how can you say the people should respect human rights? Respect the people. Values, culture. Respect the people. They don't need your homosexuality act. It's a devilly act. It's demonic. It's demonic. They don't need it. It is against their culture. They don't need it. It is against their belief. They don't need it. Now the same way you can't lie to about democracy. Up to now, we don't have Western democracy. Foolish Western democracy. We don't have it. And we don't need it. Now the same way he told only the rich can go heaven. Most of our people not die, they can't even go heaven. In fact, our people that are die poor, they even regretting why they have to listen to you. Because they listen to you, they die poor. Let's continue here. Instead of standing on the side of freedom, justice, and equal right for 8 people, today, regrettably, Uganda President Museveni took Uganda a step backward. This is the United States talking. Who are you to tell people who made decisions what better for their citizens? Who are you to tell people, to tell Ugandan what they don't like, to tell them you went backward? But a man laying down with another man, is that what you call backward? A man lying down with another man, you call that backward? In your society, it's fine. But in our culture, in our society, it's not backward to stop another man from laying down with another man. If another man can lay down with another man in your society, that's fine for you. But in our society, it's not fun for all. Respect that. Respect our value. You are not him or more than African. I repeat it, President Biden, you are not him or more than African. You are not the one to tell African how to live to be him. So in here, I'm not going to read, I'm going to stop. In here, right? They are saying that they are going to take away aid from Uganda. They are going to review their aid policy from Uganda. You see, this is a reason why these people speak, because we depend on them. There's a reason they speak the way they speak. Because in their mind, when they say, okay, we're going to take aid from the Ugandan, then we're going to say, oh no, America, make it not take the aid, or make it bring the aid back to us, or we could listen to what they tell us now, or with the back. Oh, America, will they back you? Will they come listen to why they talk? Okay, will they come protest homosexuality? Okay, you want us go lay down with man to man? Will they go lay down with man to man and woman to woman? So we better go bring back our aid. Cause take your aid. We don't need it. Take your aid. We don't need it. And folks, let me make that clear. The reason why they are doing these things, a few weeks ago, you heard Biden saying by 2040, white people in America will become the minority. You heard him saying it. And these people have come out with research saying that by 2050, half of the world or the entire world will be black. That is, in fact, by 2040, 1 in every 4 human being will be African. Every 4%, by every 4% you see walking on the street, 1 that will be African. By 2040. So what they are trying to do here is, they don't want that to happen. Do you think they are happy? Do you think they are happy by 2050 the whole world be African? Do you think they are happy for that? So they are finding ways to stop it from you reproducing. They are finding ways to stop the procreation of black family. They are finding ways to destroy the black family. They are finding ways. They are finding ways to destroy the black family. They are finding ways to destroy the black race. They are finding ways. And in order to do that, is to pollute the African continent with their foolish and demonic behavior. They are finding ways. They are going to work in every way to make sure by 2050 that predation, it shouldn't come to pass. They are working. They are not on the African continent to empower the African people. In technology, there's modern time. They are not there. to empower African people in education. This modern time, they are not there to do that. But they are there to tell you to go lay down with another man. America, your culture, it is only respected in America. Leave us alone with your culture. We don't need it. Practice it in America here, that's fine. If anybody in Africa want to do it, they can come to America. Get them visa to come to America. That's fine. Get them visa. Let them come be homosexuality. Let them come lay down with another man. Let them come so that another man can lay down to their butt. Is that what you call human right? Let them come to your country. Because in Africa, that's not human right. That's violation of human right. We say we don't need it. We don't need it. You don't come and enforce your way on us. That's violation in the first place. By enforcing your way on us, that's violation of human right. By telling us if you don't do it, we will stop aid from coming to you. Take your damn aid. You think we don't know right now as we speak? You depend on Africa. You think we don't know? You depend on Africa to survive. If not, the next 5 years, you will be nowhere. We know that. Europe depend on Africa to survive. If not, the next 5 years, they can't survive. Because the gold they have stolen from Africa, it can't last with them. It cannot sustain their citizens. You think we don't know that? You think we don't know that? Your economy cannot survive the next 5 years without Africa. You think we don't know? None of you people economy can survive the next 5 years without Africa. Because the resources you got is not enough to sustain your citizen. Get out of here. Your ways. You cannot enforce your way on other people. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do it. We have values in Africa. We have religion in Africa. We have customs in Africa. We have traditions in Africa. And you should respect those traditions. You should respect those values. You should respect those norms. Because nothing good have ever come from America to Africa to benefit African people. And nothing good have ever come from Europe to empower African people. What have America done for African people to empower African people? None. So sit in America and leave us alone. Let's see what other people say about this whole nonsense of bathing. They bathing or procure with another man. They bathing have family with another man. He had the opposite sex. Barack Obama, did he procreate with another man? He have opposite sex. Even as we speak right now, he have his woman in his arm. They're taking vacation. Why he can't go lay down with another man? Why Biden can't go lay down with another man? Why Blinken can't go lay down with another man? All of them have family. But you want to destroy the African family. You want to destroy the African race. That it will not happen. No African leader will pass anything on the African continent. If that's what you call right, that's not right. That's not right. The right is respect our values, tradition, and custom. If we say no, we say no. And that we stand by it. We will never take that nonsense from America to carry gay activities on the African continent. And we will never, in fact, we call it nonsense. You can take your demonic activity to your warehouse. We don't need it in Africa. That's nonsense. To go lay down in another man's butthole. That they play you laying down. Are you laying down in another man's butthole? In another man's poo-poo hole. That they play you laying down. Where did you go to get your family? You got your family from a woman, not from a man. So let's see what the Ugandan president did and the response from other people as well, from other people in the diaspora as well, okay? Let's see their response to the nonsense Joe Biden can carry on the African continent. Sit in your warehouse and sit in America and promote that human right. Not on Africa. Africa is a continent, not even part of America. It's far from you. What kind of colonial mentality is that? You think we are still colonized? We are not colonized again. We are not a colonized race. Leave us alone. If anybody want to experience gay, they can come to America and experience gay. That is your culture. That's fine. Every nation has tradition. That's your tradition. To look through another man's butthole. That's fine. So people can travel and come to America. If they want to look through another man's butthole, they can come and look there. In their poo-poo hole. They can come to America and look in their poo-poo hole. Nonsense.
So guys, just in case you haven't heard or you don't know, being gay or anything relating to the LGBTQ plus community is highly, when I say highly, it is highly forbidden in Africa. As a matter of fact, I'm not saying it doesn't exist. It does exist. It is almost non-existent as it is illegal in so many African countries. As a matter of fact, it is ruled as an act that is punishable by the law. If caught, you could be sentenced to years imprisonment or even death, as so many people have already lost their lives to this alone. And the United States have been fighting for so long to make it legal in so many African countries. But then again, recently the president of Uganda signed an anti-gay law in the country of Uganda. And because of this, the United States has threatened to take away its aid that are being provided to the country of Uganda.
Excuse me,
It seems the topic of homosexuals was provoked by the arrogant and careless Western groups that are fond of coming into our schools and recruiting young children into homosexuality and lesbianism. Even now, I have not really fully understood it, that you can fail to be attracted to all these beautiful women here and elsewhere, and you are attracted by a man. That's a very serious matter. It means there's something really wrong with you. So for me, in my simple way, I thought they must be born like that. No study has shown that. No study has shown that you can be.
Do not buy generic Viagra anywhere until you hear what happened when I signed up for an online program offering generic Viagra for 87 cents. Just so you
Homosexual purely by nature. Since nature is the main cause of homosexuality, then society can do something about it to discourage the trends. That is why I have agreed to sign the bill.
Around the world. What I can tell you about steps the United States might take in response is that we are undertaking a review of our relationship with Uganda in light of this decision.
But Museveni remains unperturbed.
The outsiders cannot dictate to us. This is our country, this is our society, this is our future. It is not anybody's future. And, the outsiders will have to live with us, or if they don't want, they take their aid and we shall. Uganda is very rich, we don't need aid. In fact, aid is part of the problem.
Continue to urge.
Well, that is the video, you guys. And please, what do you guys think? Because Since the news broke, there have been so much outrage going on and people stitching the video and giving their 2 cents as well, which I have put together some of the response for you guys. So let's quickly check them out. And also, please leave your thoughts and let me know what you think at the comment section below.
This is a true leader of Africa. We have no problem with LGBTQ, but don't force it on
Yeah,
us.
Uganda. I don't know your president, but he make me proud to be an African. I don't know your president, but he make me proud to be an African. This is what we need. This is the type of leader we need. We don't need cowards as leaders. We don't need cowards as leaders. This is what we need. Mr. President, I salute you. Who the hell is United States? Dear United States, you want to go to hell? Go ahead, go to hell. You want to put your children in bondage? Go ahead, put your children in bondage. We don't care. But do not come to Africa and ask us to put our children, our generation in bondage because of an abomination. You can live how you want to live. Don't bring it to Africa.
The world. What I can tell you about steps of the United States.
I didn't know how to make this video without it sounding like I was anti-rainbow, but hear me out. All right, so I remember last year Uganda uncovering all that gold, like millions of tons of gold, plus it was worth about $13 trillion. That's with a T, $1 trillion. And I knew after seeing that story that the powers that be was going to try to get their hands on this gold. Now, y'all think about everything that's happening in this world right now. The unrest that's in Mexico, the unrest in Haiti, slavery happening in India, in China, in Africa, the war that's happening between tribes in Africa, people dying every day by the hundreds. All this stuff that's happening, okay, around the globe. There are environmental dangers right now. The world is literally on the brink of like turning into a ball of fire. And you mean to tell me that the United States is saying that they're going to stop giving aid to Uganda because of the LGBTQ community? As much power as the United States have to fix everything pretty much that's happening across this world, they're choosing that to be what they advocate for. All the different things that's happening in the United States right now that the government is not taking a part of, but the government is saying that we want to give rights to the LGBT community in Uganda. All I'm saying is that at the end of the day, we know this is not about rights. And that's the reason why people quit jumping on trains all the time, because it's not about the rights of those people. It's about the gold that they want to take out of their country.
On the world. What I can tell you about steps of the United States.
Man, I'll tell you what, man. I love my country. I love the country that I live in. Been an American citizen my entire life. I love the people. But I don't love the government, and I see the government for what it is. Many people are starting to see the tear down from within inside our own government, and they don't even take care of their people. And they think that they can go into other nations with their extremist ideology and be the big bad bully and is going to dictate to other nations how they're going to live and do things in their country. And if they don't abide and listen to them, they're going to remove things from them. That's the definition of communism. And a lot of things that are being revealed about what our government has done in many, many other nations, including the Middle East, what's happening with Russia and all these other places, as you see nations separating from America, the crumble happening, and judgment is upon America. And it's our own fault. For far too long, America has been prideful. And I'm very grateful for the men and women who have died serving for our freedoms, now to watch our freedoms being taken. They don't take care of their own people. And I stand with Uganda. You're not going to go into another country and dictate to their president and their God-given rights on how they're going to live and do things in their country. And this is the tactics of the big bad bully, the government. And if you can't see it for what it is, I pray that your eyes are open, because these views.
This mistake is costing Amazon Prime shoppers big. Are you still using Prime? Because at this point,
viewpoints and extremist ideologies that only in America, that are through the TVs that we watch, that program, and we see the society, the depraved society that we have, and you extend overseas, and some of these ideologies they've never even heard of. I stand with you, Uganda. I stand for everybody's God-given right. I pray for your president that he may be blessed, protected, that you guys are protected, and know that there are citizens inside of America that also stand with you too. And praise be to God for people like your president that stands up for the rights of people to protect your people from this wicked ideology that is spreading and corrupting America's society. And don't worry, they don't really care about anybody. They're tearing us down over here too. And I'm praying that more citizens wake up, because other nations certainly are seeing that America is no longer the beacon of liberty and light and freedom. God bless you guys.
We're undertaking a review of our relationship with Uganda in.
So the United States and Western nations are actively trying to bully African countries into accepting the whole LGBTQ lifestyle and legalizing marriage and whatnot for those countries. And a lot of these African countries and their leaders are coming back and saying, that's not our society. Please don't try to push that agenda on our people. And yet now the United States is threatening to withhold aid, as if we don't already rob the continent of Africa as a Western nation, because they don't want to accept this lifestyle. I remember when people were saying that if you call what is being pushed an agenda, that you were a bigot. But to me, if you decide that you want to go into a sovereign nation and push any type of lifestyle that they're not willing to accept, not only is that an agenda that you have to formulate, but it's a form of colonization. And that's what this is to me.
On the world. What I can tell you about steps of the United States.
Okay, first of all, let's get this straight. United States, USA, whatever the fuck you guys call yourself. You cannot go around the fucking world and start bullying people to do stuff because you guys are okay with all this bullshit and nonsense. Africa is not your fucking country. If you want to accept all this LGBTQ stuff going on here, that's fine. That is fine. That don't give you the rights to go try to bully other country to do the same fucking shit. There are culture in Africa, and that culture they want to keep. I know you guys don't understand nothing about culture, but it's okay. Keep your people in your country. If you don't like it, the way they are ruling their government, don't go there. Do not go there. Simple as ABC. You cannot bully the Uganda president, the Liberian president, to legalize LGBTQ. Legalize LGBTQ for what? For what? What goes on in America goes on in the Western world. Don't have to go on in Africa. And I love what the Uganda president says. Fuck you and your goddamn aid. Keep your aid. Uganda has so much resources. They don't need your fucking aid. You guys are the one that need African aid. Because without Africa, y'all cannot survive anyway. Y'all cannot survive anyway. Why the hell are y'all always trying to bully people? The time of bulliness is over. You guys are not the #1 power in the world anymore. I know you guys are fighting with Russia and China to be back the #1 power. It's not going to happen. Africa had enough of your motherfucking asses. Keep your asses in America and in Europe. If you don't like the way they are going or according to their laws, don't go there. Don't go there. Keep your ass in America. Keep your ass in Europe. That is just simple. Keep your ass in America and Europe. The audacity you guys have is unbelievable. It is absolutely unbelievable, the audacity you guys have. Y'all think people scared of you guys? No, they are not scared of you guys no more. Focus on Russia and China and stay out of African business. Stay out of Africa business.
The world.
All right, so we're gonna end the video because we gotta go. But that's just some responses, okay, from other people, both American and both African, their perspective on this nonsense of America on the African continent. All right. So that is the response from other people, that we don't need it. America, keep it. Okay, keep it. Keep your culture. Keep your culture to yourself. Do not enforce your culture on other people, especially when they don't need it. Okay, do not enforce it on other people, especially when they don't need it. Keep it. Keep your culture. If anybody in Africa want to practice homosexuality to look down in his friend's butthole, they can come to America. All they have to do is they can go to the American embassy and tell the American embassy or ambassador, I want to go to America to look in another man's butthole, so I need visa. Or I want to go to America so that I can bend my butthole down for another man to go and look into it. They can get you visa. It should be simple as that. You know, like you can create on your website, on your American website in our country, right? Put it on your website, free visa for Africans who want to go to America to go and bend their butt down for another man to go and look into their butt. Or for another, if you want to go to look into another person's butt in America, come and get visa. That'll be fun. Okay? That'll be fun. And it'll be good. All right. I know I've been seeing comment here like in South Africa is there, right? But again, who controls South Africa? That's the thing we should look at. Because I can tell you, Julian Malema will not be in power such a thing happen. I can tell you for that. Julian Malema, somebody like Julian Malema will not be in power in South Africa. And that nonsense happen. It will not happen there. So we know who controls South Africa. So if it is in South Africa, we know who, I mean, you see it. Country in Africa that is not controlled by European. See it there. If Uganda was controlled, okay, by the British, by the imperialists, just how it is in South Africa, it was going to be in Uganda. And I can tell you, if South Africa was controlled by Africans, that nonsense was not going to be happening there. But we know who controls South Africa. We know who the economy of South Africa lies in their hands. We know who the land of South Africa lies in their hand. And that is what Julian Malema is fighting for. Because it is destroying the family, the African family in South Africa. It is destroying them. So that is why it is in South Africa. It's not just there because it's there. Because the country is being controlled by them. That is why it's rampant in South Africa. So we don't need it. Okay? We don't need it. Anybody want to practice it? Let them come to America. It's American culture. It's American values. Let them come here. Okay? So, Joe Biden, can you go to your White House tomorrow and tell American they should practice polygamy? Because in Africa, we practice it there. So, say because we practice it in Africa, you should practice polygamy. Have you ever seen an African leaders come and tell you, Joe Biden, oh, we practice polygamy in Africa, practice polygamy in America? Have we? No, because it is none of our business. What we do in Africa, is stay in Africa. We don't have to come and put it on American that you have to practice polygamy. No. We know there are people in America here who want to practice it. But do we come and say, because there are people in America who want to practice polygamy, so that means you should practice it, it is their right? People in America want to practice polygamy. So why can't you say it is their right to practice it? Why can't you make it out of law for them to practice it? Because people in America want to practice polygamy. Why can't you say it is their right? And you said it is not their right. It is against humanity. So if it is not their right to practice polygamy, why make it their right to go look into another man's butthole? So polygamy should be people's right in America. Because people in America actually want to practice polygamy. Men want to do it. And people in America want to practice polyandry, where one woman having 2 men or 3 men. They want to do it. Why can't you put it into law? Let them practice it. Why can't you put it into law for people to practice polygamy? Because there are men in America here want to get 2, 3 wives. And women in America want to agree for men to have 2, 3 wives. Women in America here want to do it. Why can't you allow it to happen? Why can't you pass it into law? Because it is practiced in Africa. Polygamy is practiced there. So say it is practiced in Africa. Why can't you say it is also good because African people in Africa practice polygamy? So henceforth, we also should practice polygamy. Say it is human right. Say you are fighting for equality. Say you are fighting for freedom. Okay, I want to practice polygamy. It is my right to practice polygamy. Why can't you practice? Why can't you pass it into law? Because you are advocating for my right and my freedom. Why are you holding on to my right and my freedom? Because I want to practice polygamy. I want to have 3 wives, 4 wives. Why can't you pass it into law to protect my right and my freedom? Nonsense. Let's continue to the next page. Let's see. On this page, let's see what the Kenyan First Lady said. And people are taking stand. Let's see what the Kenyan First Lady said in response to this nonsense. Now, Kenyan First Lady declared prayer against homosexuality. Oh yes, America, go and take your aid, your so-called aid from Kenya. Nonsense. Go and take your so-called aid from Kenya. In fact, we don't need your aid because you are using your aid to bully Africa. Let's see where the power lies. We don't need you on the African continent too. We don't want to get our resources to you. You see, you keep making mistakes. And this is why you keep saying China is controlling Africa. This is why you keep saying that the African favor the Russian. Because you bring nothing to African people but destruction. Your agenda for African people is destruction. Because many times you have said the way in which China is growing in Africa, the role in which they are taking, it is wrong because they are not taking their Western form. Because the Western form of engaging with Africa is destruction. Not to build the Africans, not to build Africa, not to empower the Africans, not to empower the African continent, but to destroy it. Many times you have said it. China is taking the wrong path because China is not taking the model of the imperialists. They are building Africa. They are empowering African people. And you sit there and then you say African are taking China over US. African are taking Russia over US. What do you expect? Who helped the African people to fight for independence? Nonsense. Let's continue here. So this is what the Kenyan First Lady said. Kenyan First Lady, this is what she said, okay? She said, we want to strengthen the family institution. I mean, they know this whole thing about homosexuality is to destroy the African family. It's to destroy the African family. So that by the time 2050 comes, the predation of the entire world becoming African, it won't happen. Because by the time the white European or white American going to the African continent, the entire African continent will be destroyed with homosexuality. And then men will not like women. Because if it don't happen, by the time they start going to Africa, right? These white, these Caucasian, they'll be loving to African people. And they'll be giving black babies. They won't be giving white babies. So they want to destroy the African continent by the time that migration take place. African people will not like women again. They'll be liking men. And then there are white people will be having sex with other white to produce more white babies, even as they live on the African continent. What we say unto them, by the time that migration happened, all your white women were pregnant, all of them, and born black babies. Are you afraid to be destroyed or to be extinct? We're not taking war against you. No. If your white women go to the African continent, we will bombard them, we will pregnate them, and we will born our babies and give black babies. So the whole thing here is to destroy the African families. And that is why the Kenyan First Lady, she got the picture. She got the picture. So she went on to say, we want to strengthen the family institution where we have a father, a mother, and children. LGBT plus Q is forbidden. Even in the Bible, she's the one speaking. The people that said to you, in God we trust, they put their money in God we trust. First of all, America is not a religious nation. We should get that clear. Okay? 1797 treaty indicate that America is not a Christian nation, not a Muslim nation, not a religious nation. Folks, do your research. So by them putting it on a dollar bill, on the American bill, in God we trust, that does not mean it's real. Just because you see a picture, that does not mean that picture is real. So the LGBT plus Q, the plus, you know what the plus stands for? The plus also stands for having affair with dog, with animal, your pet, your cow, your sheep, your goat. You can have an affair with them. That's what the plus stands for. But the first lady said LGBTQ is forbidden, even in the Bible. And the African culture, yes, we have culture. It's forbidden. Don't destroy our culture. That is the same way you went and told our people our way of practice. Our God were lesser. Your God was the most high, and our God was lesser. Our way of worship were inferior. That's why you told us. But up to now, your God have done nothing for us, for African people. Your God destroy our African continent. Your God destroy our way of life, our thought. Your God condition our mind. Your God. Your God made us to neglect our African spirituality. Because before then, we saw things vividly before they happened. When we were practicing our form of spirituality, we were powerful. But by the time we turned away and we followed your God, we became powerless. And henceforth, you became powerful and overrule or and control or and conquer us. So gay is forbidden in the Bible and is forbidden in the African culture. She went as far as saying, let us hold on to family values. It is that family value that Joe Biden want to destroy. It is that family value that the American Congress want to destroy. It is that family value, like culture, like norms, that the American Congress, the American leadership want to destroy on the African continent. She said on Sunday, during a church service, so you see, President Biden, we don't need it. We don't need it. We respect our culture. We respect our values. We respect our norms. If you don't respect African people, put some respect on us. Put some respect on African people. Respect our value, our culture, our norms. In the past, you made us to turn away from our ancestors. You made us to turn away from our forefather. And our forefather got angry with us. And they turned their back on us. It took times. It took time before they turn their face towards us. But by that time, we went through the torture and humiliation from Europe and America. And it came to a point we begged them. We begged them to come back. And now they are turning back to us. They are giving us a sense of direction. And then you are coming back with another form. It will not happen this time around. You are defeated, Joe Biden. You have been defeated. Do you have gay in your house? Do you have men in your house that you are laying down with? Or you are laying down with a woman? Your children are laying down with the opposite sex. Let's continue to the prophecy. We have turned back to our forefather because they prophesied on these things. And we begged them to come back to us. We told them we are no longer going to call the name of the imperialists. The men that dehumanize you, that torture you, that rape you, we are no longer going to call their name. Each time we speak, we are not going to call Thomas Jefferson's name. He's a slaveholder. He molested African women. We are not going to call James Monroe's name. He's a slaveholder. He molested African women. We are not going to call them. We are not going to call Socrates or Alexander the Great. They all learned from Africa and they turn their back on African people. And they lie, they plagiarize, and they destroy African civilization. We are not going to call them each time we speak. But we are going to call on the name of our forefather that he once made us to forget about them. And they turn their back. And they are coming back fighting for us now. Because we have realized it. That we were lied to. We have realized it, that the spirit that was in us, we took it and put evil spirit in ourselves. We have realized it. Let's get to the next page. All right, folks, what we're about to see here, right? I tried to get it on YouTube, but I couldn't really get the full video, but she had a lot of video there. So as time go by, I'm going to be bringing her on, with her prophecy, and she's very, very accurate, all right, in what she had prophesied. She was born 1921 and she died 2020, so she lived her life, all right. She was a traditionalist. She was from the Zulu tribe in South Africa, and she was a healer as well. Okay, and she prophesied what was going to happen in 1990. She prophesied in 1993, and everything she prophesies on it happened. She was born 1921 and she died in 2020. So let's see what she says. And I'm going to be bringing her video as we go on. This is a Revolutionary Repatriation educational lecture series. We have to turn back to our people, our ancestors. We have to measure their name and stop measuring the name of the carrier, the name of the enslaver, the name of the colonizer. We have to start measuring their name. We cannot measure their name in terms of our struggle. In terms of solution, we cannot measure their name. We should stop it.
In South Africa.
I see yellow soldiers fighting in South Africa, killing white men and black men alive. I see villages burning. South Africa will be a tyranny, worse than any that we have seen in Africa. And South Africa's new government will be weakened and it will be seized by force. Some of the black men and women who are today negotiating peace are going to be arrested by a government in the very near future. They will be accused falsely of treason, and I see them standing in chains before military thugs. My eyes cry for you, Dr. Mandela. You have plowed a garden, but you are not going to be there to reap the bright fruits that you thought you were planting. My eyes cry for you, my Lord, Prince of Pumangene, Mangosu Tupteles. You shall be humiliated before the world, and your people with you. The Zulus are going to be called the enemies of peace. And many are going to be destroyed. My eyes cry for all my brothers and sisters who are in position of leadership in South Africa. How Gozo, Lord of the sky, why do I see you in a darkened cell? God defend you, my President Mangok. You built a great country, but I see its flag lying in the ground, stepped upon by hooligans, trampled over by murderers. Why? Why do the killings continue beyond 1994? I pray for you all because you do not see. You do not see that foreign murderers are at work in our country. It suits them in their great banks in America. It suits them in their great palaces in England. It suits them in their dens in France that Africa should starve and their children should perish. It suits them, yes, it suits them. Don't you see? Constant Viljoen, is that your blood that I see in the very near future? President declared, the future you are building is your destroyer, your discredit, and not your savior. There are many who are clamoring for a new South Africa. They are going to be disappointed because the South Africa that is going to be born next year will be anything but a free country. It will be a shabby mixture of socialism, free enterprise, and other chicanery and hypocrisy. But it will not be a free or a prosperous country at all. Next year's election in South Africa will be interfered with. Those who will win it are already known. But their winning will not bring peace to the people, will not bring comfort to the land, will not bring food to the hungry, nor water to the thirsty. Arab money will flood South Africa, as will Japanese money. But all that money will not be able to reach down to the grassroots level. For a brief period only, in the year 1997, South Africa will know a semblance of peace. It will start in the year 1996. South Africa will end being ruled by Muslim people. Islam will spread its wings over South Africa. The country of Lesotho will lose its sovereignty. The land of the Basutus will be stolen from them. The land of the Swazis will fall and become subservient to South Africa.
so will Mozambique. Mugabe, do you see a shadow in your future? You will be overthrown, Mugabe, by someone whose life you once saved. I see that women will play a prominent part in South Africa, especially in the year 1995. Amongst them, I see this one, who is the wife of the man whose name I've already mentioned. Walk with very great care, beautiful Nomzamo, because the enemies who are destroying our land are not of South African birth. The people behind the killings are from America. They owe allegiance to the CIA, and some of them owe allegiance to British intelligence. I might be seen as a purveyor of nightmares, a merchant of bad dreams. I am shown the ugly things that lie in wait in future years, so that you may now, with timely action, prevent them from happening. Future is like clay, and we of the here and now can change it. Though many bad things are revealed, many more good things are shown. But I've spoken too much already.
Perhaps another time you will care to.
So, you listen to the prophecy. What she said, that's what happened. Mugabe was killed by the man he once trained. Mugabe was not killed, but Mugabe was overthrown. Like she said, you're going to be overthrown by a man who you once saved, who you once worked with, who you once catered for. And it happened. She prophesied about Nelson Mandela. She prophesied about Nelson Mandela's wife, when he said, the man whom I already mentioned his wife. She prophesied about the independent, the election. She prophesied about it before Nelson Mandela became president. And she said, it's not going to be the South Africa we are looking for, we are yearning for. And she said, it's not going, that independent or that freedom is not going to go down to the black man. She prophesied. And everything she prophesied on, it happened. She prophesied about nation in our era, Letuso. She prophesied about the Zulu. What happened? They said the Zulu people were terrorists. Everything she prophesied on, it happened. Everything she touched on, it happened. This prophecy was 1993. Even before Nelson Mandela became president. Everything she touched, she spoke about, it happened. And she had more prophecy that day. Everything she spoke about, her lifetime, it happening. And some are yet to happen. But in this video, everything she touched, it happened. And she laughed at some point. She said, you might be thinking I'm dazed, but it is the truth. And she was standing speaking. And after she spoke, she walked. Folks, you know why we keep making a mistake? Because we continue to turn our back on our forefather. And then when we are speaking, We fail to realize that if we want for things to manifest, we have to call on our forefather, not the white man forefather. Sometimes it baffles me. I see African men speaking, then they will call on Abraham Lincoln. Some of his quotes. It baffles me. I will see the black man will call on the name of Thomas Jefferson when they are quoting something. But what Thomas Jefferson quoted at that time, it wasn't for you. He quoted it in reference to his people. So if you are quoting it, you are quoting it against your people and against your struggle. If you are quoting anything that James Maroon said, you are quoting it against your people. Because look at the time period that was quoted by James Maroon. Or look at the time period that it was quoted by George Washington. The time period that it was quoted by George Washington. George Washington quoted it because he was quoting it against you. Because the time period of George Washington was 11 years old when he had slaves. Okay? So the time period that he quoted it against you. He quoted it for his people. So in this time period, if you, a black male or African, you are quoting a quote from that time period that you are in bondage, that George Washington quoted it. If you are quoting it this time, you are quoting it against you. You are quoting it against your liberation. So if we are quoting anything in terms of our struggle or when you want to make references, you should quote it from either Nkrumah, from either Malcolm X, Marco Garvey, okay, or Credo, the letter you just watched. You should quote it from them. Quote it from Harriet Tubman. Quote it from her. Quote it from Rosa Parks. Quote it from Oliver Toussaint. Quote it from those people. But we leave those people. We never mention them. We never quote from them. And it's not like they don't have it. There are many quotes out there from our forefather. But we neglect them. And we quote different people. We quote in different spirit. We quote in bad spirit. And we leave the good spirit. Look at this lady, Mutua. Look at what she said. She prophesied it happened. So tell me, if you are quoting from this lady, tell me the power that you will impart, that will come. Tell me the power her spirit will get in you. Her spirit will manifest. Yes. It's true. O'Malley. If we are quoting, we should quote from O'Malley, the chairman for the African People's Socialist Party. We should quote from people like this. That's the only way. Everything she prophesies on, it happened. So why can't we mention her name in our struggle? Why can't we mention her name so that she can get up more wisdom, so that she can give a wisdom as we continue the struggle to fight? And that is what our forefathers said. Call on upon our name, call on our name, and we will be there. What you want to be to happen, it will happen. As long as you call on our name. Remember us. We will be there. Anything you ask for, we will be there and we will do it. But we continue to call on bad spirit. You think you're going to call George Washington and then George Washington come and leave his people and come and fight for you? Are you going to call Thomas Jefferson and then Thomas Jefferson come and fight for you and leave his people against his people? You think so? George Washington's spirit. When George Washington was on ice, what he should have done for you, he didn't do it. It is a spirit that coming to fight for you. Really? African. Let us turn around to our forefather. Turn around to your culture. Turn around to your values. Turn around to your norms. Do not allow European, do not allow America to come and tell you once more again that your value is lesser. Your way of practice is inhumane. What have their way of practice done for us? Everything that they have brought to us, it went against our culture. It went against our norms. It went against our life. What have they done for us? Everything they brought for us, it went against us. Everything that we have practiced from them, it never took us anywhere, but took us backward. Let us go back to our ancestors. Let us go back to our roots and call on the name of our forefather, and you will see the power that will manifest. And because we have been doing it, that is why changes are coming. Are you wondering what's happening in America? It's not that we support it, but President Biden, are you seeing how your train are just making accident? Take that money that you say you want to give to Uganda, and Uganda say no, and then you want to punish Uganda in aid. Take that money and go face your railroad system. Are you seeing how your train is just damaging? Train just making accident? That should be one of the things. Half a train to have accident. But are you wondering why it's happening? Go and face your railroad system. Go and face the educational system because it is destroyed. Go and take that money and pay student loan debt because students are owing and students been advocating for you to pay their debt. Go and take that aid and pay student debt loan debt with it, and stop threatening African nation that if they don't do this, you will do this to them. Because aid is the one destroying Africa anyway, like the Ugandan president said. Aid is destroying Africa. Aid is what making African people not to think, not to be innovative. It is because of aid. So take it. Go and pay student loan with it. There are students in America that can't afford. Since they graduated over 10 years now, they can't even afford because they don't even have better living place to live. They don't even have better job. And they are struggling to pay that student loan. Take that aid and go pay the loan with it. There are people in America who are struggling with their mortgages. There are people in America who are losing their houses. Take that aid and give it to the mortgage company to help your citizens. There are people in America who are suffering. Poverty is alarming in America here. Poverty. Take that money and help American citizens and stop threatening other nations with your so-called aid. When your citizens in America are dying from all kinds of things, diseases, take that money and put it into research to save your citizens. Because people are dying. Take that money and put it into medical facility because people are dying. No good medical condition, no good medical care. People don't have insurance, medical insurance. Take that money and come and cater to your citizens and stop threatening other nations because of what they don't want to do. Your citizens are traumatized from just daily activity, from just life. Your citizens are traumatized because they don't have capital. Because by the time they work, when the 2 weeks come, the money already gone back. Because America was not built for workers. America was built for business people. That is why people are traumatized in this country. Because by the time the 2 weeks come, the money already gone back to the business people. So take that money that you are threatening other nations with. Take that money and come and solve the problem in America here with American citizens. Come and help American citizens. American citizens are dying. They are traumatized. They are suffering. They are losing their houses. They are mortgaged. They are losing it. Take it. The educational system is bad. Take it. Come and build your educational system. Improve on your educational system. So leave Africa alone. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being on. This is today's presentation. I will see you all tomorrow and next Friday. Peace.